in control, and I call the boys in control, and they're like, you're okay. And so that happened. And the other thing is that I live in LA, and that's fine, I like it. But God, the thing about New York is just, there's all these books here on the table, and we all wrote these books, that's crazy. And then, but then like the people in the audience, and there are people in the audience with books, and there are people in the audience with journals, and there's Gigantic, and there's Christina with Fiction Addiction, and there are poets, and there are fiction writers, and I was peeking at you when you didn't think I was peeking at you. And I really love it about New York. You know, I can't live here because it's too much. I love to visit. So, the third thing I didn't say, I needed to say, but every story about Prince is hilarious and really sexy at the same time. So I thought I would try and read something that kind of complemented that. The story is about a man who breastfeeds his mother.
Oh my God!
It's called On the Teet.
God bless you, Amelia.
My mother's life came into existence like the central spindles of a spider's web on the night of my conception. She did not truly exist before my birth, and when she dies, my life will become the moment of a performance when the lone member of the audience turns from the stage. And so, I like to curl under my mother's breast and bring my lips to her teeth. It gives me comfort to do this, and has since before my memory. She holds me in her arms. Now that I am a man in my 40th year, and she always 30 years my senior, the action has become as natural as a limb for the both of us. There is even a place for me, a divot in her arms and stomach where I belong. It's smooth there, and my body fits like a creature in a shell. My business has taken me to Delhi and Jakarta, where I stand at the head of long tables of men and some women. My hands resting on those tables in these distant locales, distant because of the center point of my life, which rests in her home and waits for my return. In my briefcase, I keep a portfolio of photographs of her. When I'm feeling disrespect from a client over the phone or even across the table, I tick open the folder and gaze at those portraits, which she gave to me on Mother's Day. I always return with treats from abroad. I suckle, and my mother turns over the carved elephants I buy her and speaks of her favorite philosophical subject, of how the span of one's individual memory functions in the same way as a vinyl record, that there is a distinct moment when the needle is placed, by God, she supposes, on the material and crackles to life through the speaker, assuming all goes well, she says, stroking my hair. She claims to have seen my own functional record spring to life for the first time. I had just begun walking, she recalls, which means my brain was in a developmental stage akin to a rock rolling down a steep hill. She began to cook nutrient-rich foods for my developing mind. Smoked salmon and handfuls of blueberries, crushed flax. Each morning she gave me a bit of coffee mixed with whole milk. It was all with the idea that she would start the powerful engine of the mind early. Each breakfast was followed by her special blend of math tutoring and recitation practice, wherein I would recite a poem after each time I had properly summed a fraction. And then our lunch, where she would drink a chilled glass of sugar water and I would lay down with my belly against hers and latch easily. Even in those days, I could feel the groove of flesh growing in a place under her shoulder, the lip hooking over my chest and arms, binding me and holding me close. One afternoon, she talks while I'm feeding of how I ought to find a bride, a woman who can care for me the way she does. I laugh a little, milk spittling around my mouth, but she doesn't laugh. She says, there will be a time when we cannot enjoy these long afternoons, and you will be in the world alone, and my heart breaks to consider you out there wandering, lost. I can feel our bodies shudder around me. The milk in my mouth takes on the salty flavor of tears she's absorbed. It strikes me how weak she feels, how little she's carried me in the recent days. It's important to me, she says, that we find you a mate. And so, we audition prospective girlfriends. I retain a service, and the girls make appointments. They arrive one at a time to my mother's house and sit on her couch. They are too fat or too thin, too pretty or too ugly. One is focused on the pathetic trajectory of her career, while another sounds bovine in her interest in raising a family and moving to the country. One girl plays idiotically with her hand in her lap, while claiming her girlfriends convinced her to schedule a meeting with us. She is pretty, and I like her fear. My mother sits beside me on the high-back chair. She had been taking notes in a composition book, but while this last one speaks, she closes the cover and turns slightly, facing the wall. I tell the girl on the couch that she should leave, and tell the other girls in the hallway to clear out as well. The girl goes without another word, watching my mother all the while. I wonder what she's looking for, a second opinion, perhaps. She doesn't find it. I'm gathering myself to confront the girls remaining in the hallway for a blistering reprisal of their time with us when my mother begins to shudder. I stumble to her feet, pushing my face into her lap, kneading her stomach and breast like a cat. Her shudder continues, deepening, spreading to her extremities. She clutches the arms of her chair. These fucking women, my mother says. I realize I have made the worst kind of mistake. Thanks.